In the UK, around about 25% of new businesses fail within the first year. 1/3 of business venturers rate their chances of success at 100%, which is quite astounding. So there's a huge amount of overconfidence in entrepreneurship. They are all, or were all, intoxicated by power and success. They were drunk on their own power and success, and their power and success went to their heads. They all took decisions that were overconfident and overambitious. They've all shown contempt and disregard for advice and criticism from others. As a result of those things, they became reckless as leaders, and they took reckless decisions. And in all of those cases, they have invited negative consequences. Okay, so that's what hubristic leadership is: overconfident, overambitious, contemptuous, arrogant, and reckless. Those are the characteristics. What causes it to begin in the first place? Substantial power and positional power. So positional power goes with the role of managing director or chief executive or chairman. So positional power. So substantial power. Where we have substantial power with successful performance, recent successes, add to that praise from the media in the form of Chief Executive of the Year awards, or praise in the press, or any other form of praise that can be given to a leader, and add to that a leader who has an overly positive self-evaluation. In other words, they think big of themselves. Those are the 4 risk factors: power, performance, praise, overly positive self-evaluation. 4 risk factors. If we have those risk factors, then there's the opportunity exists for hubristic leadership to occur. Hubris is the 2 things in the yellow boxes: overconfidence and overambition, and contempt and arrogance from the previous. And that can lead to reckless behaviour in areas such as mergers and acquisitions, diversification decisions, and entrepreneurship, business venturing decisions. I want to say a few more words about self-evaluation, positive self-evaluation. Self-evaluation in psychology is a good thing. It is healthy to have a positive evaluation of yourself. So, for example, in terms of self-esteem, it is good to think that I am worthy as a person. Self-efficacy is a good thing. It's good to believe that we can succeed at tasks. Locus of control in psychology means the ability to control events. However, it's a problem if we believe that everything is within our control. And finally, emotional stability. Another word for emotional stability is anxiety. It's good not to suffer from too much anxiety. A little bit of anxiety is a good thing. I'm very anxious about being here, standing, talking to you. But it's healthy anxiety. It's unhealthy anxiety if I think that I am an anxiety-free zone. If we have, I am the most worthy, I succeed at every task, everything is within my control, and I am anxiety-free, we then have the situation of what I call hyper self-evaluation. However, success with all of the other risk factors thrown in, can lead to hubris. And hubris can lead to weaknesses. Hubris can turn strength into weaknesses. In English, we say it is possible to have too much of a good thing. It is possible to have too much confidence. It is possible to have too much ambition. It is possible to have too much pride in one's organisation. So examples of where strengths turn into weaknesses: positive alignment, being positively devoted or identifying with one's organisation, can become over-identification. And that can lead a hubristic leader to believe that they are the organisation. An example of that would be Steve Jobs at Apple in the early days. So he was Apple. He felt he was Apple. When he was removed from Apple, so it's possible to be too close to the organisation in terms of identification. Entrepreneurs are prone, like the rest of us, to hubris. Entrepreneurs overestimate the chances of their business being a success. In the UK, around about 25% of new businesses fail within the first year. However, some research done several years ago now found that 1/3 of business venturers rate their chances of success at 100%, which is quite astounding. So there's a huge amount of overconfidence in entrepreneurship. There are, of course, other areas of business where hubris can have a negative effect. Those are three of the most important ones.